Welcome to episode 4 in my Citroen Relay van build series. In this episode I'm looking to put theory into practice and I move on to installing the subfloor in my van.
The first step in the process was to cut a series of 53mm strips to fit between the ribs of the van, and in some cases some slightly more elaborate shapes to fit particularly down the sides. I then moved on to cleaning the floor with isopropyl alcohol in order to get it good and clean, ready for the next stage in the process. The adhesive I'm using for this task is Sick as Sticks All Extreme Power. I'm using this because Roy and Alice from the Just Turn Up video series van build did a lot of back-to-back testing of different adhesives, and this one turned out to be very good because it will stick non-porous to non-porous, so that's what I plan on using. The process itself, there was nothing revolutionary there. Load up some of the adhesive in the gun, get a decent bead down, take my piece of insulation, set it down in place and give it a bit of a wiggle, bit of a press, and yeah, then it was stuck. You can see right at the end there I had to use a brick in order to just weigh down the end of it because it was just starting to lift a little bit because of the contour of the van. But then it was just a case of rinse and repeat in most positions in the van, with one little wrinkle that I'll come on to now. I wanted to ensure that I retained access to the points where the lashings had been in the van. So I inserted some bolts into those and then put my piece of insulation over the top and gave it a press to mark the position of the bolts. After that it was a case of cutting it out and then, as you can see, popping it back down, and it was in the right spot. Then move on to a bit more of the gluing and wiggling into position, and that was all of the 6mm insulation stuck down.
Well, today's first job was going to be to scribe out the insulation for the floor, but unfortunately it's 30mm thick and there's not enough space underneath the bulkhead. So whilst I'd planned to try and keep the bulkhead in as long as possible, it looks like the bulkhead is going to have to come out. Right, so it's now time to get the insulation fitted, and I want to scrub around the edges like everyone else. A bit of work with the compass, the scissors, and a Stanley knife just to get some of those inside corners, and I think we're in a fairly good position. I was a little bit aggressive with my cutting there, and maybe a little bit aggressive there. Well, it's a new day and it's a new knife. I bought this. I'm hoping that with the slide-in, slide-out blade, I can set this to a depth that exceeds the 30mm of the insulation. And also I bought the smallest size, the 9mm wide. I'm also hoping that that will facilitate going around corners. Let's see what this knife can do. Well, it's nice and sharp, so it's cutting nicely. Yep, there we go. And that's the first piece fitted. It's not perfect, but it isn't too bad around the edges. There's a bit of a gap there because unfortunately at the bottom there's a bit of seam sealer, and that's keeping it away from the edge. But it's not too bad. Another issue to deal with on these Relay Ducato Boxer Pro Masters, and I've seen it mentioned on one other video, the excellent Our Van plan, is that there's a slope here at the edge of the van where the floor meets the wall, and what you can see here is if I take a straight edge and I run it across about an inch, maybe 30mm from the edge of the side of the van, it actually starts to interfere with my straight edge running across there, which basically means that the insulation is not going to sit flat. So that means I'm going to actually have to relieve the insulation slightly in that area in order to get a decent fit. So what I've managed to do is, using a combination of the saw and the knife, I've managed to take an angle off of that, which now means that that piece of insulation sits a lot more comfortably in that corner. When you actually get to start to look at these vans in details, you notice a number of oddities. So the van's width at the back here, behind the wheel wells, is 187 centimetres, there or thereabouts. Now if you look at how far those angle pieces coming off the walls are protruding, you can see that they don't protrude as far as these pieces, and in fact that little indent there takes it back to the same level at the back. So when you get to this point on the van, it's actually only 181 centimetres wide at the floor level. So that's the last piece of insulation in. I don't have a lot spare. You can see basically what's left at the back. I purchased 11 pieces of 1200 by 600 XPS. I think if I were doing it again, I'd probably buy one or even two pieces more. I've had to put some fairly small pieces in some areas in order to get the full coverage out of the boards I had. It's resulted in a couple of gaps that I don't particularly like, but once it's glued down, I think a bit of sealant in there and it'll all be fine. It's reasonably well scribed in, and the only thing I've got left to do, I think, is to create the impressions with the bolts where the lashing eyes were fitted, because again, as I've said before, I think I'm going to be using those bolt holes, so I want to make sure that I've still got access to them through the foam and through the floor. Notwithstanding what I've said about having timber under the floor, there are a couple of places where I think it is going to be beneficial, even in the floor structure that I'm putting in, and that's on the edges to the doors. What gives me slight concern is, even if I have some sort of metal trim covering the edge of this, there'll still be enough pressure on the corner of the board, and I think if there's pressure there, then there is a risk that the board will actually dent and deform. So piece of timber here, piece of timber you can see being put together there, should do the job.
I then moved on to gluing using the new battery cork gun that I'd purchased from Amazon dead cheap. I wouldn't recommend one, as you can see. Didn't have a lot of control, and by the second piece I actually had a massive explosion of sealant in the back of the gun. Even after cleaning it, I didn't trust it, so after this first piece I moved back to the manual gun. But once the glue's down, it's a case of dropping the piece of insulation on there, like the 6mm, give it a bit of a wiggle, give it a bit of a press, and you soon find that you've got it in place nicely.
One little tip I would get: sick a stick saw if you're going to use it. Buy it online. I bought 12 tubes in a box, 45 quid. The same 12 tubes, if I bought them from Toolstation, which is normally reasonably cheap, would have been £82. Okay, so I have all of the insulation stuck down on the floor now. Fortunately, I did have enough of the stick saw down to my last tub. Another day, another job that took about 3 times as long as I expected it to. Seems to be the way of these things, but well, it's in now. Just not looking forward to moving all those bricks back. Okay, so the start of another morning. I've shifted out the bricks from in here, just over 100 of them. I think in total it weighed about 300 kilos. Hopefully that's going to have given a good bond between the insulation and the floor of the van, so we shouldn't have any issues with the insulation lifting. What I'm moving on to now is templating here. I had a bit of a delay getting my actual flooring material, but it's here now. So I am going to be templating this section here to start with. The boards are 1.5 by 3 meters, and I'm hoping essentially to use one board that covers the whole of the exposed area that we'll be walking on, so there are actually no joins in the area that we walk on, which is good in terms of stopping any risk of any sort of flexing, but it also means that I don't need to worry quite so much about things like dowels or dominoes or biscuits and things like that to try and align the pieces of floor, because it'll all be one piece. So I had some challenges using this tool in confined spaces, and also when it needed quite a lot of depth. But for things like this, it actually works really well. It saves quite a bit of time. You can get a single scribe perfectly to a curve like this, and then transfer it to some cardboard or plywood or even your finished article. So for some purposes, this is actually a massive time saver. So thank you to Nikki and Martin, who bought me this for my birthday. And that's what it looks like on my first attempt. So as you can see, that tool works really well if you've got the space to get it into place. So I've created a big old template. It's just over 3 meters long, and it is 1.5 meters wide. Okay, so I have taken my cardboard template and I have stuck it onto one of these Polyfloor boards. I'm getting slightly twitchy about this simply because I've got 2 of these and I need 2 of these. But I've taped it down on that basis, and I have got pretty much a straight edge along here, and then my little cutout. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to have a little test cut. This area up here is where the wheel arch is, and I'm going to have a little test cut inside that area because that's going to be waste anyway. So I'm using the finest tooth jigsaw blade that I could find. It's a designed for cutting thin metal, so it will actually be good for cutting out the holes for the windows and the skylight anyway. So hopefully this will prove to be a good choice. Well, it's cutting quite nicely, and you can't see, but I've actually got a really smooth cut on the underside as well. So that is cutting very nicely. So I feel a little more confident about this now. So I'm going to get out my Sharpie and I'm going to mark up this panel, and then I can take the template off. Oh, there we go. Just holding on a touch. Okay, so that's the cut I've achieved, which I think is pretty good. Whether it fits in the van where I've templated it for, of course, is a completely different matter. Right, I tried to do this last night, but the camera ran out of storage space. This is the first piece of the floor in. It's good. It's not perfect. In all honesty, this was not fitment number 1. This was fitment number 3. We had some issues around the wheel well, or the wheel arch rather. The fitment in most places is pretty good. You can see here, the templating has worked pretty well. So the wheel well, that is where probably our biggest gap is. But the problem is, this rib protrudes out. So if you look at this from directly above, there isn't actually a gap. And that's because in order to drop that piece in, you have to have some clearance for that part of the wheel well. Okay, let's give this piece a try, see how our second bit of templating worked out. Oh golly. Oh, hello, that's very close. Yeah, that's in. So for this last piece that I've got to fit, I've made a template for the entire piece. It was the only way I could comfortably feel that I was going to be able to get the width exactly right. I didn't feel like cutting one side, using a couple of measurements, then flipping that template, turning it onto the other side and cutting it again. If it was too small, then I'd be scuppered. And if it was too big, I wouldn't be able to get it in to actually work out how much too big it was. So it would be pretty much guesswork to work on it. Whereas this, it tells me exactly the size that it needs to be. Okay, well, I've cut it. I'm going to go and give it its first fit. I'll do it live on camera just for a laugh. But if you're watching a video entitled How I Screwed Up My Floor, you probably know it isn't going to work. if you're watching a video entitled Genius puts in ultra lightweight floor, you probably know it has worked. So let's see what video title you're watching. Well, I wouldn't be so presumptuous to call myself a genius, but you're not watching a video called Flooring Disaster anyway. It probably could be a little bit tighter in some of the corners. I've got that nice tight edge at the join of the three boards, which is good. I'm very slightly narrower here. That is pretty good, and that I think is a cut edge rather than a factory edge. Here it could be better. I'm a bit far away here, and let's have a look on the other side. Yeah, pretty happy with that by the wheel arch. I think this is the factory edge. No, actually this is the cut edge. That's pretty blindingly good actually. So the area where I'm weakest on is around these parts here on both sides. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. As you can see, I've packed up for the day. Sun's gone down. Even though it's nice during the day, it gets cool pretty quickly when the sun goes down. This is all in, and I'm hoping that this will be a complete video covering both the insulation element of the floor and this Polyfloor board. It's been done over a period of time, but I hope I've managed to edit it into one video. Is it perfect? No. Am I happy with it? Yes. It's got its limitations. It cuts really nicely, this floor. If you get on a corner and it's got no supporting parts of the bubble core, I don't know if it's easy to see or not, but you will find that it will compress a bit. But given that it's butted up against another bit, I don't think it's going to be a problem. And all of my joints are, as I've said before, hidden away. I'm going to look to glue it down onto the floor at some point. I'm going to drill holes where the lashing points are, and I'm going to use those as mechanical fixings, both for the floor and for the furniture. But more of that in another video. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you got something from this. If in my efforts to keep this floor video down to just one video, I've skimped over anything and there's anything that you think I've missed or was unclear, then please raise something in the comments. But beyond that, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.